What's up and welcome back to the Good Old Gang podcast. I am, of course, your host, Evan Miller, and today I am joined by Dylan Santiago.
Yes, sir.
And joining us for the first time to talk with the boys on the podcast is Justin Kenny. How we doing, Justin?
What's good? It's good. I'm pumped to talk about this. I'm pumped to talk about the boys. I've been looking forward to it.
Usually we got Aiden on the podcast talking the boys with us, but he is currently nursing some wounds that he got from bee stings. He'll likely be back with us either next week or the week after for the finale. We'll have to see. But yeah, it's some brutal shit out there. You guys got to be careful about these bees, bro. Have you heard about the murder hornets? I feel like they might be coming back.
No, bro.
Yeah.
How are these motherfuckers endangered, bro?
Yeah, right, aren't they?
It's some crazy shit, bro. But anyway, we're going to be talking about fucking whatever in this episode because it is Herogasm. And this is, of course, the Good Old Gang podcast. You can get it on youtube.com by searching Good Old Gang podcast, and we'll be right there for you. This is the show where a handful of buds get together to talk about some of the things we love in the world of entertainment, including the latest in Star Wars, Marvel, and more. In this episode, we're discussing episode 6 of The Boys on Amazon Prime, aka Herogasm. Before we get into the episode itself, Justin, I want to ask you, since this is your first time joining us to talk to boys, like I said, what have you thought of season 3 so far? Overall thoughts. Go ahead.
I think season 3 so far has been the best written season so far, and definitely had some of the most standout moments too from any season. It's just been I'm so glad that they're doing the show justice, taking material from the comics and enhancing it. A lot of the show is much better than some of the comics, and that's just because of how it's written and just the portrayal of everything. But I could not be happier with how the series is going. Definitely one of my favorites of all time, and I can't wait to see where this goes. Upset that there's only 2 more episodes, I think, or 3.
Yeah, only 2 more.
2, right?
Yeah.
Oh god, it's gonna hurt so bad.
Shit, bro.
It's gonna hurt.
This was the season finale.
So did I, though. Like, it felt like a season finale, which we'll get more into a little bit. But
yeah,
with how much they're able to fit in every single episode, like, I'm gonna be like sad when the season's over, of course, but like, it's probably gonna feel like justified. I'm not ready for it to end, but like, I know it's gonna be great. I know it's gonna be a fantastic season finale.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm scared they're gonna drop it on a cliffhanger.
I could see it. I could definitely see it.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
got to.
it's pretty. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. But yeah, I mean, so Justin, what did you think of Herogasm? Overall thoughts?
I think the craziest thing about this episode is that the Herogasm part was like the least crazy part of this episode, which I never thought I'd be saying. But I think the Herogasm itself was probably the most, like, I don't want to say least interesting, but just everything else felt so enhanced and so, like, there were so many stakes with everything else. Like, I mean, you had Kimiko, like, seemingly getting some of her powers back, right? Because she was able to take on some of the guys that they were fighting with Frenchie. And then you have Soldier Boy and Huey fucking stomping Homelander. I mean, that was the first time Homelander's ever got hurt. And then Homelander had his Green Goblin moment where he's looking in the mirror and he's like, he's having that like dialogue with himself. And then you got just continuing being one of my favorite characters in this show. His whole OCD thing and him being so obsessed over Soldier Boy after what happened to his family. It's just great writing, great character stuff. And then, of course, you got the Herogasm, which was wild, but I think it could. I think the show writers hyped up Herogasm so much that it felt underwhelming to me, but everything else that surrounded it was so good that it doesn't even matter for me.
That's totally fair. I mean, like, since this season was announced, I think that was the first thing that they revealed was going to be going on this season. And like, since they revealed it, it's just been hyped up constantly, and like they delivered. But yeah, I mean, like it was pretty overhyped, but I loved it, and we'll get into it. But Dylan, what did you think of Herogasm, the episode overall?
I mean, I think Justin said it pretty good. I mean, they built up a lot of hype around this. I started it off like knowing what I was expecting. I started off hand on my dick, ended up hand on my mouth, bro. This was a shocker.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
It was like everything they sort of promoted for it was more of like a side plot, and it literally felt like a season finale.
Yeah.
Like so much happened over the course of like 10 minutes in the show that probably ended up going to like 30 minutes on screen.
Yeah, for real. I'm right there with you guys. This episode was fucking fantastic. Of course, like it might be the best episode yet of the season, which is like saying a lot because I feel like we've been saying that week after week. Just like what they're able to do every single episode with all these characters, the growth that we see every episode with every character. It's like it's pretty much unlike anything we've ever seen. I feel like even like compared to something like Game of Thrones, like this is like on a scale that's like, I think more epic, to be honest. Like,
oh yeah,
I have never felt
for sure.
Yeah, every single episode of the show is a fucking emotional roller coaster, and like it's just fucking incredible. I cannot sing its praises enough, and like this episode in particular was just brilliant. Every single thing felt like justified, that it like, especially in Herogasm, like I'm like relieved that it wasn't that excessive, I guess. Like I'm glad the show stuck with its guns with like just excellent character work above anything else. And like they were still able to deliver some of the funniest shit the show has ever like provided us with, which is just incredible.
Not only the funniest shit, but also the most heart-wrenching and
seriously
like fucking brutal shit that we've seen ever from the show, you know.
Yeah. I like teared up. I choked up like multiple times this episode, whether it be the stuff with the stuff with fucking Kimiko and Frenchie, which like hit hard this episode. Yes. Like I was scared for both of them. Yeah. And the stuff with Huey and Starlight too. Like they went
and A-Train.
And A-Train too, man. Bro. Holy shit. Like, oh my God. We'll get to A-Train.
I hope, we'll get to that.
Everyone went through the ringer this episode, and we've still got 2 episodes left.
I think Evan went through the ringer the most, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, dude. Like he's gone through the ringer this entire season. Let's be honest. Like he's
the whole show, man.
Yeah, the whole show. It's just fucking crazy. Yeah. But I don't know. I think we should just get right into it. Let's start at the top because I don't know when we'll be able to bring this shit up as we talk about the rest of this episode. But like, I don't know about you guys, but like I was fucking dying during the Imagine parody.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
I didn't think the show could top the Jenner from a couple episodes ago, but they did. Like
they topped it, man.
Dude, the parodies and the social commentary and the fucking satire in this show is top notch. Like it's just brilliant in every single way. Yeah. Like they literally copied word for word the whole fucking stupid Gal Gadot Imagine shit from the start of the pandemic, word for word, pretty much her speech, just like substitute COVID with fucking like superhero attacks. And it was just fucking hilarious. And of course it was the Deep doing this shit. Like it makes total sense for him, which made it even funnier. Yeah. But like, dude, it was just comedy gold. And like the amount of celebrity cameos they were able to get for it, like fucking seeing Patton Oswalt and Kumail Nanjiani, bro.
Yeah.
It's just good shit. Like this show just it constantly surprises me in like the ways I least expect. And like that's just one of the reasons I love it so much. It's just fucking brilliant.
They're constantly topping everything they do.
Seriously.
With every episode they do what they've done better.
For real. It's just brilliant.
I mean, this might sound outlandish coming from a show of this caliber, but I don't think any other show does social commentary or I don't think any other show does social or political commentary better than The Boys does. Like genuinely, I do not.
No, I'm with you 100%. Yeah,
I totally agree.
On satire too. No one does it better.
I'm trying to think of other shows or media that does it as good as The Boys, because holy shit, The Boys, I mean, they're every single thing.
Yeah.
They have this really, satire, but really, really heavy political and social undertones attached to it. And it just makes it so much more enjoyable and really gives you something to take away the show with. It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, it's incredible. It really is. It's hilarious. It's like it's smart. It's literally everything. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But like anyway, I just wanted to sing that the praises of the opening scene there. But like after that, we go straight into Homelander, Noir. Homelander and Noir finding out that Soldier Boy's alive, and immediately you see Homelander start to like worry and shit, and he confides in Noir, since they were like teammates and shit, and we saw from Diabolical that Noir's kind of been there for Homelander, unlike anyone else in the Seven, really.
Yeah.
So like Homelander feels like he's able to confide in Noir, which I thought was really cool that they brought that back from Diabolical. Like that scene definitely, I feel like, means a lot if you've like seen that episode of the show, Diabolical. Yeah. But like right after that, oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, I mean, I don't know if you guys know about the Noir in the comics, but I don't think they'll do this, but I won't say just in case, but if you guys know who the Noir is in the comics, you'll know that Homelander and Noir have this sort of like attachment and bond, in a sense. And for Noir to be the one that's kind of betraying Homelander makes it so much worse, because Homelander says like, you'll never leave me, right, buddy, or whatever he says, and then you see him jump up the elevator and rip out the tracking device. Was it the tracking device?
It was.
And gives it to the
was
lady
so
in
funny.
the elevator. So funny, but
it's hilarious.
What do you guys think he's going? Because I'm thinking, my theory is somehow Edgar and Noir are related. I'm thinking they're the brothers or somehow related, because just the way that Edgar was talking to Noir back on Nicaragua, it seemed very familial, very like there was something deeper there. And
I think that's possible, and I do think you're right. I think he was going to Edgar.
Yeah, I think.
But I think because the twins later on during the Herogasm scene before they die, they say that Noir was behind the whole thing of Soldier Boy being like taken.
Yeah.
But like I think it was really Edgar behind it.
Yes.
And like I think they were like in cahoots somehow, because like Noir was like trying to, before like his face got fucked up and everything in that scene, we see that he was like trying to like be given more, I feel like, be given like more weight within the team. Like he felt like he could have been given more, and like I feel like maybe they were working together, because like the best way maybe in Noir's eyes was like get what he wanted was to get rid of Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
And like obviously it didn't really work out for him, but like I don't know. I do think Edgar is behind the whole thing, really. And it makes sense because we haven't seen him for the past couple episodes, it's felt like. So I feel like they're going to bring him back for sure in a big way.
I mean, we'll talk about it later, but there's one moment that I don't want to jump the gun. Dylan, you want to speak on this first before I say anything?
No, I think you guys covered that pretty good. I know what you're talking about in the comics. I think. Yeah.
Do they fuck in the comics or something? Because I'm lost. I don't know.
No.
I thought I heard that everyone fucks in the comics. So like,
well, they do.
Shit,
they do,
maybe, probably.
There's probably a scene off camera they probably fuck, but not yeah. Well, I mean, so Noir in the comics is a clone of Homelander.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So, he's a clone of Homelander that, and actually in the comics, it's the Noir Homelander that does all the fucked up shit to Becca, and not the actual Homelander. Now that can't be done well in this show because we've seen Homelander act like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, for Homelander to be betrayed by Homelander in essence is kind of fucked up. Now, is crazy. Now, the next scene where we have Soldier Boy, Huey, and Butcher talking. Right. Soldier Boy mentioned some shit where he's like, I always wanted to have some kids on my own. Now, I'm gonna go on a limb and say that Soldier Boy is Homelander's father, and that Soldier Boy created Homelander with his DNA and shit. And then that's why,
dude, that'd be fucking wild.
Now I'm thinking that another layer to this is that the Homelander from episode 3, the one that got his face blown off, is actually dead, right? He actually died, because if you remember that scene, he's reaching for his mask, but he never grabs it, right? The camera cuts away as he's reaching for it.
Wait, Homelander or Noir?
Noir.
Okay.
Sorry.
No,
so this is kind of a crazy theory, but follow me. So Noir's reaching for his helmet in episode 3, right? After he gets blown up, but he never grabs it. The camera cuts away. So my crazy theory is that to save face, Noir is actually killed at that point, and then they make another copy of Homelander, and then it's actually Noir as Homelander, a clone. That's my wild ass theory.
I think they've shown Noir with like his mask half off.
And they did. Yeah, that's the only thing that kind of fucks it up. But
it's a cool theory.
Yeah.
And like it sounds really cool in the comics. I kind of want to look into that more. But like I don't know if
it's out there.
I don't know if I see it working in the show. Like it'd be kind of cool, but like also like I just like kind of the fact that Homelander's just so much of a piece of shit. I don't really want them to like come up with some excuse for that. Like
I don't think they'll do that. But I mean, like 2 Homelanders run around would just fuck everything up. Can you imagine just like the idea of having 2 Homelanders? That's my crazy ass theory. But my grounded theory is that Soldier Boy is actually like the father of Homelander.
I like that a lot more, to be honest. I think that'd be not only dope as fuck, and I could see it happening. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, we got the fucking fight this episode. That means like something big is gonna happen, and I could see like that sort of reveal coming.
That would make sense.
Yeah, and them just like teaming up.
At the start of the fight, he says on the upgrade.
Yeah, plus
which like that could mean obviously that could just be like nothing.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's that, and there's also the scene where Homelander has this Green Goblin moment where like he talks about how more than anything else, he's just wanted a family his whole life. He's wanted a mom and dad, and if he has a dad all of a sudden, like that shit could be wild.
And get this,
that'd be a crazy twist.
You want to hear another shit that adds to the theory?
Yeah.
When they're talking, Soldier Boy, Huey, and Butcher, Soldier Boy says that him and Liberty started it. Now, if you guys remember, Liberty is actually Stormfront.
Shit, yeah.
Did catch that? Yeah, Stormfront helped form
Liberty is Stormfront. So you can have, and Homelander has some serious mother issues. Mommy issues.
Fuck.
Oh no,
dude, that's definitely happening then now, bro.
I think you're 110% right.
Totally right.
So he's got that Oedipus complex, that crazy ass Oedipus complex.
Jesus Christ.
It's so Soldier Boy and Liberty, either they had a kid like normally, right?
Yeah.
Or they use both the cells or the DNA of both of those. Because Soldier Boy is considered the strongest hero at this point. And I don't remember Liberty how she's perceived at this time. But I do think she was pretty strong. So it definitely makes sense for them to use her DNA and Soldier Boy's DNA.
They're both immortal.
Right. Yeah.
There's that too, that they both share.
Yeah.
That they uniquely share, I should say.
Yeah. So I don't know if I like better that like Soldier Boy and Liberty like actually had a kid and conceived it normally, or if it's like a lab thing and Soldier Boy was Homelander was kind of grown from a lab with the DNA. But I think definitely Soldier Boy is the dad one way or another, like without a doubt.
I mean, I think you're completely onto it. Like I feel like we've talked about every episode of this, like how unpredictable the show is, like no matter how many theories you make. But that's like the one theory where I'm like, Soldier Boy and Stormfront being Homelander's mother, that sounds like absolutely insane, but I think that's the most valid theory.
Yeah.
And Edgar could have arranged the fucking Russians taking away Soldier Boy so that Soldier Boy wouldn't get in the way of them like tampering with his son and shit.
I think that would make bro, have you been reading weeks?
Or even in Russia, like that's where they actually cloned Homelander.
True.
And
I could see that too.
You guys, another layer to this theory. Think about
Holy
this.
shit, dude.
Homelander is actually a Russian fucking agent. And like season 4 or whatever.
Like some Superman Red Sun shit.
Yes,
shit.
Superman Red Sun is like Homelander just destroys America and it's like he's this Russian dude. I mean, that would be that's a little out there. But
I think it's possible. Either way, guys.
Yeah.
I think we just fucking cracked it. I think we cracked it.
I don't know if he's a Russian spy.
Either we
you're
cracked
120% right. I think on how the final twist.
Yeah.
Either we cracked it or they should let us fucking write this show because we're coming up with some good shit here.
If this doesn't happen, I will be so.
I'd be pretty disappointed too. I'm not gonna lie. Because this sounds fucking awesome.
It's so set up.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Shit, dude. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
God damn.
I love this show. This show is so good, man. I'm telling you.
Seriously, dude. Oh my god. Dude, that would just be fucking incredible. I don't even know where to fucking go from there. Where do you guys want to go next?
Starlight.
I feel like we just spoiled it.
We might have, bro. Oh wait, actually, one thing I wanted to say before when you brought up the scene where fucking Huey, Butcher, and Soldier Boy are just talking in the room together. I wanted to just bring up the fact that like he partied with Cosby. Dylan, when this scene played, bro,
I was gonna bring that up too.
I could fucking hear you laughing from like 3 miles away, bro. Like I know this scene fucking got you, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
You make some crazy drinks, dude.
They're on point so hard with like the whole like man at a time thing.
Yeah,
the way Captain America didn't do it.
It's perfect,
like,
dude.
It's whoever's in the writers' room working on that shit is.
And Jensen Ackles' delivery, bro.
Yeah, his delivery
of so good. He's so good. Just like between last episode and when he was just walking around the city and this shit, like him just being totally like not PC. He doesn't even know what the fuck that means. He doesn't know what anything.
He sells
means.
It, bro.
He's so fucking good so far. He's been a highlight this season for sure. Out of one of many. But oh my god. I guess after this, we could talk about. I think not long after this scene was A-Train storming in on Ashley.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this might have been Ashley's moment that they've been building towards, or at least like her moment's coming because like she's starting to get like her confidence and shit. Like she's like standing up for herself now. Like when she stood up to A-Train and like she had that moment with herself, but like before that she fucking ripped out a fucking chunk of her hair.
Yeah.
I still think she's gonna be bald by the end of the season.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I thought back to that when I saw that.
Yeah, and they both like fucking freaked out. Like that shit was funny as fuck. But like, in that moment, I felt for A-Train for sure. But like Ashley's right, 100%. Like he doesn't deserve fuck from like anyone.
Oh no, yeah, he dug his grave there.
Yeah. And the moment later that he has with Huey, which we'll get to, like it just like sells it even further. But like that was just a great moment. There were so many great moments in this episode. Everyone had a moment to shine. It was great. But yeah, do you guys have anything to say about this moment?
Ashley is just.
We've been hyping Ashley up the past couple episodes. What have you thought about Ashley this season, Justin?
I don't know. I really love her this season. I mean, I still think her best moment was last episode where, I think it was last episode where she's talking to Starlight, and at first she's so scared. She's like, "Look, I don't have any powers. I don't know what I'm gonna do." And then like a flip, she changed into like this serious, and she's like, "This is my company. Like, get the fuck out," or whatever the hell she says again. And she just snaps on Starlight, and she's really just becoming this like really well-written character who's like almost a victim to just all the crazy shit that's happening. I mean, I don't think she knew where the fuck any of this company was gonna go, especially when she started working there. I don't want to call her a victim because she is also kind of fucked up, but it in the sense of like I don't think she expected shit to get this crazy.
No, yeah, 100%. I think it goes back to like how good they really are on like political and social commentary, where like nothing is ever like on the nose, but she's a really clear example of like how far someone's willing to go for money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
for power.
And for power too. She's out here risking her life.
Yeah. Like it's like this episode though that she realized that even though she doesn't have superpowers, she still has power over the fucking Supes in terms of like she could end their careers with like a pull of her hair or some shit, bro. Like yeah, I feel like she's gonna have a power trip in the last couple episodes, or leading into next season possibly. I don't know if that'll fly with Homelander, but like I don't know. We'll see after the way he like ended this episode, and like in the next scene after this was the scene I think with his Norman Osborn moment, which I'm glad we all were totally on the same page there, because like the moment that scene started, that's the first thing I thought of, which was brilliant.
Yes.
But yeah, like in that moment, like you see that like he's like kind of pussying out against going up against Soldier Boy, and like when the Deep like first brought it up to him, and like he told Homelander that like he knew where the twins location was in Vermont, and told him that fucking Noir left, like you saw that like Homelander was like really starting to worry, and like he didn't treat the Deep like shit in that moment, which like caught him by surprise. Like he knew that like shit was about to get real, which it definitely did later on.
Yeah.
But like yeah, I'm just really glad that like they're taking this angle with Homelander in terms of Soldier Boy. Like I'm glad that like they had him like know from the start that like he might be fucked. Like it was cool to like see him for the first time actually seem scared, you know. That's
and
not
cry.
That's not anything we've ever seen from him before.
Yeah.
Which was like, I don't know, like it was kind of like, it was like strange to see, but it was also like kind of it shows that there's a chance that they have a chance to like actually like defeat him and shit. Like there's a chance like he'll actually
yeah.
You know,
I mean, Anthony Starr, the Homelander actor, has some of the most incredible range and facial expressions that I've probably ever seen. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he like
100%.
The way he flips from just cold maniacal to, you know, bathing in all the glory and everything. I remember there's one scene that sticks with me because it gave me chills, but he's like angry at Ashley at first or whatever. And then Ashley mentions the ratings. And if you see his ears kind of tingle and like perch up, but his face doesn't change. His ears do first, and then his face changes. And like just from that scene alone, I mean, Anthony Starr has some of the best like facial.
If he's not nominated for like an Emmy or whatever the fuck, like there's something wrong. There is something wrong.
Just the levels to like his like Homelander psyche that he puts on, as far as like how he's psychotic and just like completely like fueled by anger, but then at the same time he can show like the scene from the episode before this with Starlight, when they first see that Soldier Boy blew up Midtown.
Yeah.
And he's just like he's putting off like this angry, like trying to scare people vibe, but like you could see him portraying deep down of like how immature and just like insecure Homelander is.
Yeah.
Right.
Like based off of like, oh, we got to worry about like stock margins and shit.
Yeah. He's like, he's trying to like put on a brave face in front of all these people, because like he knows that like if he shows like an ounce of weakness, they're just gonna totally lose all respect for him. But like he also knows that like if like he's defeated and like he loses people's respect like that, like he has nothing left, like because all he has is like the quote unquote love that people have for him. And like if he loses that, he loses himself. And if he loses himself, like he's just gonna go fucking berserk, I feel like. So like it either they like actually defeat him, or they just wound him enough where he survives, but just everyone sees how much of a pussy he is. Like in reality, like it could end pretty badly. I don't know.
Right.
Like something big's gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I don't know, man. I you know, I go back and forth about how they're going to end the show and Homelander's character, and I don't know what's a worse fate for him, like dying or living without his powers. And I think if they really want to do some ballsy shit, you have him live but have no powers, and then you just see him kind of cope with that and kind of do some crazy shit with that.
I think that would be the best thing to see too. I think that's really what everyone wants to see. Like, yeah. I think that would be like an eye-opening moment for him. Mm-hmm. And like, it would totally just, it would just be crazy. It would be insane just to see how people deal with him now that like now that they're actually able to touch him, I guess,
Yeah.
So that would be wild. Anyway, though, I believe after this, or not too long after this, is the Victoria scene with Starlight, where she just goes up and says that she basically says that like she knows that Starlight and Hughie knows, and like she doesn't give a shit, and like she tries to cut a deal with Starlight, but Starlight just like turns that shit down. Mm-hmm. And this was a good scene. Like I'm glad that they didn't like try to like dance around that like they've been doing so far, in terms of like, does Victoria know that they know, or why not? I'm glad that they just like went for it and just like revealed it. So like they just cut the tension there, but like as they did that, they added even more tension, which I just loved. Honestly, like I don't really mind Victoria that much. I don't think what she's trying to do is bad, like per se. Like the way she's going about it is wrong, which is why Starlight says no. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't know. Like, what are you guys thinking of Victoria? Like, I understood the decision that she made a couple episodes ago with Edgar and trying to protect her daughter. That made her more of a sympathetic character, than we've seen so far.
I think a lot of the show is that like everybody's a piece of shit, but everybody has their moments. I still think Newman's like a piece of shit, like a snake, a vile person. Right. But I do think
she's a politician.
Right. Well, yeah, there we go. Yeah. She also does have like her human moments, like, where she protects her daughter. But then, you also have that moment where she puts the compound V in her daughter.
Which is a total piece of shit thing to do, because you see I mean, like, I see where she's coming from, right. But in that scene, you saw the pain that she was causing her daughter. Yeah. Like every fucking bone was like fucking cracking. It was brutal.
I mean, what superhero has a better life because of their powers? No one. Yeah. No superhero because of their powers has a better life. I mean, they're all in deep piles of shit, regardless of the powers and everything. So, but I do
argue. What's shit? I'm forgetting his name. Hold on, I'll get back to it.
To do with the big dick, I guess.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're on the same
page. He's living. At least he was living until the end of the
sausage.
Yeah, love sausage. Yeah,
love sausage. Yeah. I would argue.
I you know what? All right, I take back my statement. Everyone besides Love Sausage probably has a worse life because of their powers.
Okay,
Love Sausage probably got a good.
Yeah, he's living his best life. He was living his best life until that shit was charred at the end of this episode, bro.
Oh yeah.
Which was probably, dude, painful as fuck though.
But I was devastated.
Yeah, I was devastated as well.
Yeah, but I
was surprised to see him come back.
I was so I was like
they had to have brought him back for Herogasm.
For Herogasm, there's no way they wouldn't bring him back. I mean,
for real. He was made for this episode.
Someone's gotta like that shit, man. Someone's gotta like it.
Nah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, you're good. No, I was just last thing. Newman's a good character, well written, but I'm not favorable towards her, but I think she's well written.
I think she could come in clutch towards the end of things. Like I think she's gonna like, choose the side of good over like anything else.
I also don't know her motivations too much. I don't know exactly where she stands on everything and kind of where.
Well, she's against Homelander, but like she's not gonna do anything as long as her daughter is safe. Like her daughter comes first before anything else.
Yeah, she's kind of got this independent character where she's like anti-Homelander, but kind of on her own thing.
She's anti-Homelander, but she'll do what she needs to do to like get what she wants.
Yeah, I like how she's like her own independent force that's kind of like not aligned with anything, and then everything about her is kind of up in the air, like you said, like her motivations.
Yeah.
But even her powers are kind of they kind of reveal that she might be able to pop Starlight's head.
Oh, she could.
She could.
She could. Yeah. She just chose not to.
But it's still kind of up in the air about like whose head she can and can't pop.
I think she could pop everyone's head, just like with Homelander. What Homelander said the other episode is that like before she could do it, he would just like laser her fucking head off. Yeah, like he'd be able to stop her. And like then, all she has to do is look people in the eyes, I think, right? And like she could do it to anybody.
I think if she just looks at him, right?
Yeah, probably just looks.
She has to have eye contact, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. Well, because because she was
with the church dude at the end of last season. Like she was outside looking at him. Yeah, into his eyes. Like even if it's not like right into his eyes, like like she needs to see their eyes. Like when she was like when she killed her friend or whatever in episode 1. Like she was holding on to him and she was like looking into his eyes, I'm pretty sure.
Well, no, I think you just have to look at them. And then because I think the dude when at the end of the last season, when the dude was killed, he had his back turned to the glass.
He did, yeah. And then in Congress.
Yeah.
Well, if that she was in the room, so she could have been like, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But then also the episode where they're with the CIA agent in the middle of like the road or whatever, and then his head just gets popped out of nowhere. I don't think she was making eye contact with him. I gotta rewatch that actually.
That's me too. I don't know. Regardless, like she is extremely powerful and like she could. I don't think there's anything that could block her from like doing
besides speed.
The thing with the eye contact thing is I feel like it makes sense because like if she didn't need to have eye contact, I feel like she'd be able to just like take Homelander out like without him knowing, you know.
Unless Homelander's just so powerful it does nothing to him.
That's true.
You know,
I feel like they could like address that a little bit better.
Yeah.
Which maybe they will, but regardless, like I think it's pretty great.
Yeah, but then Starlight had her 11 moment where she got that nosebleed.
Yeah, which showed that like she meant business.
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah,
that was a great way to end the scene for sure. But yeah, I think it was after this that we got the hostage scene with Kimiko and Frenchie's old girlfriend. Mm-hmm. That whole thing.
Sherry.
Yeah, Sherry. Yeah. Dude, that the whole thing was tense as fuck. You said before in your general thoughts of the episode that like Kimiko might have been getting some of her powers back. I'm pretty sure all of that was just like before she got her powers, before she was like taking my VOD or whatever, like she was just like part of like some militia or army, right?
Right.
So like she was trained to do that shit. True. I don't think she has her powers back yet, but like she that's just her training. Like she says after she's in the scene later with her and Frenchie that like she doesn't have her powers, but that's not what made her a monster. She thought that like she was always a monster without them.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, like either way, like it was just I was like so tense that entire scene. I was so worried for like all three of them.
Yeah.
And the fact, I don't know if I like completely buy the fact that all three of them made it out alive. I think they could have maybe sacrificed Sherry or something.
Yeah, I was thinking Sherry was gonna bite the bullet.
I was thinking Frenchie was gonna die.
Oh God, I can't take that.
Me neither. The fact that though also that Nina's her name, right? The Russian lady.
Nina, yeah.
Yeah, she got away too. Like I feel like we didn't really get much out of that.
Right.
I feel like if someone died, whether it be her or Sherry, I feel like it would have just added a little bit more weight to all of that.
Yeah. Now let me ask you.
Like regardless, it was still a great scene.
Right. So I don't know if you guys talked about this last episode or any other episode, but what do you guys think about the Frenchie Nina plot?
I think it's been the weakest part of the season. Mm-hmm. But like it's still been good. It's just been the weakest part for sure.
Okay. Yeah, see, I'm thinking I don't think it's bad. I mean, a lot of people were saying that it's really bad or just bad. Which
right. I think it's good for Frenchie's character. Like a couple episodes ago, I didn't exactly feel that way. I think I might have said that like I felt like they've already explored this side of Frenchie already, like in seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like with this episode specifically, where she was like talking about Frenchie, like as she was like torturing him, like I thought that added a bit, and I thought it justified things a little more. Like I kind of liked where it ended up in this episode. I just kind of wish they just ended it with this episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely.
I don't know how much they can drag it out.
It's definitely the weakest storyline we've seen so far. But I don't think it's terrible. But
yeah.
I also just don't want to see it compared to everything else, because everything else is so much better written.
It's just really mediocre whenever they.
Yeah, I think that's a problem. Yeah, it's just mediocre.
Exactly.
You know.
I mean, like with how little they focus on it, though, it's not like
right.
It's not like it's a show-breaking thing or anything. Yes. And I feel like I think we're gonna see Frenchie and Kimiko like get back with everyone by the end of the season. Maybe, maybe not, but like I don't know. Regardless, they just need to end this plot line already. They should have done it. I mean, like I feel like they have a reason for not doing it in this episode. Maybe we'll see something good next episode that'll end it, but it needs to end by the end of the season for sure.
Yeah.
And like I overall though, I don't really have that much of a problem with it, but it is the weakest link for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just scared it gets dragged out and kind of brings down the rest of the quality of the season, but I think I have enough faith for them to kind of end it in the right place. I really do potentially see Frenchie or Kimiko dying, and by the end of the season, either that or but I really do see Frenchie or Kimiko dying, and
I could see that too. I think they've set that up the most.
Or you know what, them saying fuck it, like they leave the organization and they live out their life in France like they've always wanted to. And you know, I'd be okay with that end too. But I think one of them dying definitely hits a lot harder and definitely does more for the character and everything.
No, I agree for sure. Like I mean they deserve a happy ending, more than like any other character in the fucking show, maybe besides like
Yeah.
Like the three of them deserve a fucking like happy ending, but they're not gonna get one.
No,
for sure.
No.
So
if this show has taught me anything, nobody's gonna have an ending.
Yeah, the show wouldn't do that.
Especially not love and sausage.
Oh yeah. He got the most tragic ending, to be honest. He's probably gonna have to cut that shit.
Oh, okay.
You know? Yeah, I don't think he's gonna have to amputate.
No, I think he can make a recovery.
You think so?
Yeah.
That shit was charred, bro.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go back to it. I'm
you're
bad
good
about this shit. Yeah.
You're good. Like we all are. That shit was
fucked up.
Yeah.
Turn me up.
No, but I guess like speaking of like Herogasm itself, I think it was after the scene that we see the Deep first arriving at the place, and like he sees that they're throwing a party, and like once he realizes it's Herogasm, you see his fucking eyes light up.
Oh, he knows just goes out the fucking window.
He knows there's a fucking fish somewhere for him.
Oh yeah.
And he fucking finds it, bro.
Yeah.
He's got a nose for that.
What are they doing with an octopus in there?
I don't know. It's just part of their fucking aquarium, I guess. Like they're rich.
So,
the rich people.
That's a different.
Rich people have got octopuses, I guess.
True. I mean, they probably know about Deepest fetish too. You know, like they.
Oh yeah, they've got something for everybody.
Yeah.
They're when you're hosting Herogasm, you've got to have something for everyone.
You got to have shit for everyone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Regardless of the fetish.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. But yeah, he finds that shit. And before we see that though, we get the scene with Starlight and heading there themselves. This is the scene where we get the true backstory of with Soldier Boy, and we hear that about his OCD and how he got it from his him feeling responsible for his grandfather's death with Soldier Boy, which was this season has elevated MM's character significantly for me, and he's already been a 10 out of 10 character before this season, but like the amount of like heart that they've put into his character this season is like it's wild. And this is one of the scenes that like got me choked up a bit, because like you can like tell how much like it's affected him his whole life, and like even with like his own family, you know, like how like it's why that he can't have the normal life that he wants with his daughter and his ex-wife, you know. It's like because he has this need to like get this revenge on Soldier Boy so he could finally live his life after what he did to him, you know?
And him being the one character, or the one of the few characters that's so adamant against the temporary V.
Yeah.
And that scene last episode, 2 episodes ago, where he doesn't want to take it.
Yeah.
And I think he says something along the lines of like, you just turn into the monster that you try to fight. And then Butcher's like, we got to even the odds or whatever. I mean, it's just brilliant for MM's character. I mean, it's so well written, and I love MM's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Actually, I've actually met Laz, the actor, at a convention not too long ago.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. He's super nice. He's super nice.
Yeah, he seems really chill. I've seen I've seen con footage of just like the whole cast, and like he seems really chill. That really must have been really cool to meet him.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm gonna try to find a picture and send it to you guys. But yeah.
No, that'd be dope. But yeah, Dylan, what do you think of this scene?
I mean, I think you covered most of it on how I like what they're doing with because I feel like and Frenchie have been like sort of thrown in there with like not a lot of development on their character before, and now he retired the life to be with his family, and like you said, he has the OCD about the stove, but literally he thought that Soldier Boy was dead, and he has this OCD where if he doesn't turn off the stove, he says literally he thinks Soldier Boy is going to come back and
the burners
for the rest of his family. And so now he has this chance to sort of kill Soldier Boy himself and maybe put that to rest.
And the way that just Butcher like prevents him from doing that at every turn.
Yeah.
Like their relationship is not going to recover from this.
Oh no.
And you could already tell, like even like from the way they have their scene in this episode before he gets knocked out, their fight, like there's no way they can repair their relationship. I feel like it's just out the window, which sucks, but like it's just tough. It's just really tough. It's a tough situation on both sides. I feel like and Butcher, you know, but yeah, just excellent character work for this season. Like, and this episode's been the height of that, I felt like, and I feel like we're only going to see it grow even more in the last 2. So anyway, though, I guess, but yeah, I believe it was after the scene that we just go like straight to them arriving at Herogasm. I might be forgetting something, but I feel like we could just jump to it now. Or no, go ahead.
Yeah, quick point. There's I'm skimming through the episode real quick. And there's a really, really cool line by that says something about the sex workers and everything. And I mean it's one of the things I love about the show, where they kind of throw in these lines that seem small but have really
during when they first walk into Herogasm.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, they're not like it's just showing how, like, you know, fucking vile and kind of just assholes.
Just how much really of the soup they don't give a shit about anything.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the line exactly, but you know, MM's kind of like
this was during the part where the one soup fucking like makes the icicle phallus and like just sticks it. It's fucking brutal. Jesus Christ. He says something along the like, the fucking sex workers here getting banged up and not in a good way. Not like these soups care or anything. Yeah, not that the soups give a shit or anything. Yeah. And I think if they, I really wish they leaned into that, which they kind of did towards the end, or at least 2 episodes ago. Totally Kimiko. At the end of this episode, yeah, and then you know, Kimiko when with Kimiko, like that wasn't like a soup, that Russian guy. He was just like some fucking asshole. Right, but it kind of gave a hand towards like the sex workers type thing, where it was like people just don't give a shit about these sex workers, and it was cool that it was brought up again this episode in a different context, but I think like the point still stands, where, you know, people kind of just don't give a fuck about the sex workers or anything, and especially in this context with the superheroes, it's just totally. But I really do love when the boys like drop a line. Doesn't really seem that big, but it really just paints a picture of the world that the universe has a lot of meaning. And this is of course right before he gets slimed, like he's at the Kids' Choice Awards,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Except only if it was the fucking Kids Choice Award slime. I mean, we good. But...
That's what I was talking about when I was saying I think had it the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Got violated. Absolutely.
This man was already on his way to the bathroom.
He's got to burn that jacket now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's not coming back.
Yeah, but I love one of my favorite lines in this episode was probably how both he and Butcher they both say that like Frenchie, that they're both like they feel sorry that Frenchie has to miss out on Herogasm, that he's been looking forward to seeing it for like his whole life. Yeah. This shit was so funny.
That was so good. Yeah, that was so good.
Just like I guess we could like spend like a moment just like talking about Herogasm itself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's fucking wild. It's fucking gross in the best ways. It's just fucking wild. It's not what I expected, but it's what I hoped for.
Now, there's one thing. Yeah, go on, Dylan. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it was better than what I expected. Like they really hyped up the whole, as if the whole episode was gonna focus on it, but it was more of like a side plot than anything.
Totally, it was like a backdrop.
So much stuff that was that like I could have never imagined.
Yeah, it was really just a backdrop to the chaos, and I feel like that was the best option for them to take with it.
100%, yeah. It was. They did it way better than I thought they would.
Totally.
There's one thing I really wish though is I wish that there was more notable superheroes or soups at the Herogasm. Like we just got Blue Hawk, A-Train, you know, fucking who else? The Deep, right? I wish that we saw more soups that like we knew and that you know, like just to be there, because you know in the comics like there's a lot of notable there's a lot of notable names, a lot of recognizable faces, everybody's there. But here you only have a couple. I mean, but then again, there was a line by where it's like all these C-list heroes come in. Yeah, you know, so it's not like
it's like that. It's like that one scene in the club from season 1. I think it was like the very first episode.
Yes. You know? That's what I got reminded of actually watching this.
Yeah.
But I do, you know, the fact that they did add that, like, oh, it's C-list, you know, having this weird crazy party was cool. But I do kind of wish we just saw a more, you know, larger cast of recognizable characters, just to kind of show that, and he kind of emphasized the point that, you know, everybody's fucking doing this shit, and it's just a kind of a thing that just happens when you get all this power and everything. But
and it's just awesome. It's another great example of how the show is just so good at expanding the mythos of this universe, you know, like how and like we mentioned earlier about how Soldier Boy says that he and Lady Liberty, who's Stormfront, they founded it. It just adds like so much like depth to the universe. I feel like that's like different from like things we've seen in other like not only superhero content but from like just other franchises where like they have like their own universes, I guess. Like it's definitely like I would say that this show kind of has better world building than like even Marvel, you know. It just feels like so much more organic, you know, like it feels real almost. Like it feels like it could be real, and which is like the point. But like they do such a good job of that. And I feel like this is just like this isn't even the best example, but it's like another example of that. I feel like it's just like so good. And but like we, after the scene we were just talking about, we get Soldier Boy showing up with Butcher and Huey, and Soldier Boy's ready to go in there and just like fuck shit up, but Huey asks him to give him like 3 minutes, so he just like teleports in there, and he fits right in. Of course, since he just fucking loses all of his clothes. It's brilliant, really. But yeah, he immediately runs into A-Train, and we have this fucking scene where like A-Train gives a sincere fucking apology, which I was not expecting to see from him. But like
I saw it coming as soon as Ashley talked her shit to him. Like I said it before, I think like they were setting him up for a redemption arc. And I think they did it. Well, I mean, we could get into that.
Well, we might as well just like talk about everything that happens with A-Train. from now until the end, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
they
go
did
ahead, go
that.
ahead.
I thought like they were gonna completely redeem him, and he was gonna start leaning more towards helping out Huey and Starlight. But I think they did even better. Where like the shit he did, he kind of doesn't deserve. He definitely doesn't deserve a happy ending. But he at least sort of did what he could to make it right in the end. Like I don't know if he's dead now.
I think he's dead, and
Yeah.
I that's not confirmed. But like I feel like this would be the best way for them to write out his character, you know.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this is where his path has been leading to since last season, really, you know,
Mhm.
when he first like started to have issues with his speed and in his heart and everything. Or that was all the way back in season 1, actually. But like that's what he's been building. This is what his character has been building towards, I feel like, with his arc.
Right.
And I feel like we finally see now that like he understands everything he's done wrong, and like he feels sorry for all of it. But like in the end, he still chooses the wrong path. He still makes the wrong choices. And yeah, I just feel like if this was his death in this episode, I feel like it's warranted.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously it would have been cool to see him more redeemed in some way, but like I feel like he doesn't even really deserve that. Like we just feel bad for him because of what happened to his brother, and like how because of his apology to Huey and how he was treated by Ashley and everything in this episode. But like,
and that even further develops the point where it's like everybody's a piece of shit in this show, you know, like even as much.
But he's responsible. Him personally, he's responsible for causing so much pain to the main characters.
He was responsible for the entire
show. Yeah.
Him laughing in episode 1 where he's talking about how he ran into her and killed her or whatever. I think that's episode 1. Might have been a little further.
I think you're right. Yeah.
He's laughing about that. And then the worst, I mean, not worst, another bad thing. I don't want to say worst, but pretty bad. He fucking rats on Supersonic to Homelander.
Yeah.
And gets him killed.
Yeah, fuck him. He's a narc.
Yeah, man. He's a snake.
I thought he was real. Like I thought that was the start of his redemption arc. Like he was gonna join in.
He was gonna join them, man.
I had so much faith in him.
I had faith, and then he fucking got him killed, and he's like licking Homelander's fucking boots. Like he's like bowing down.
He was almost worse than the Deep for that shit, in my opinion, honestly. Like it was just some sad shit to see from him, but like. Yeah. That just brings it back. Like, I guess he really does kind of deserve this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it would be good for them to like bring him back for this not to be his actual death? Or do you think this should be it for A-Train? I'm kind of on the side of this maybe should be it.
I'm good either way. I think if this is his death, I'm more than okay with that. I think if he comes back, well, you know what? I mean, he kind of lost his powers, so I mean, there's really nothing more.
There's nothing they can do with him.
Yeah, I think they need him dead, or they should have him dead. But then again, like I don't really know what it does for the entire story as a whole, besides his own character arc. You know, because Blue Hawk isn't really a main plot line; it's more of a side plot. So, but I think for A-Train's character himself, I think this is a well-deserved death. And
I mean, it's either he's dead or he comes back and he actually is gonna join in with like Starlight and everybody, because like he can't go back to the way he was being, you know, like that's just what led him to this point. And like I don't know, like I mean, like I guess I'm kind of with you, like I could go either way actually.
Hey, I just can't, you know what, if I could see them doing like, all right, so he comes back and he's like for some reason I thought of Oracle, like Barbara Gordon from the like Arkham and the Batman universe, where like he's like in a wheelchair and helps out behind the scenes.
True.
I could see him doing that and him being involved at like a community center or whatever in like his hometown of Trenton.
It's possible. And there's also I just want to say there's also the fact, because I just remember this, when the show was confirmed for season 4, he posted the actor who plays A-Train. He posted a picture of like him holding like holding up a 4 you know?
Right.
So like that, I don't know if that confirms that he's still alive and that he's in season 4. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's no Frenchie picture.
True.
So that scares me
yeah.
too. I think it could be a cop out personally, but
it could be, yeah.
My 2 things is that either he's dead, which I'd be okay with, or he becomes a small town, like a local hero where he has no powers, but he does all this stuff for his community and he kind of rebuilds his character arc.
I think if he survives, he would need to openly, publicly confess to everything he's done.
Oh,
you know, because like if he is still alive, then it's obvious that he killed fucking Blue Hawk because he's like dead on the road next to him right now.
Yeah.
And like people are gonna see that shit. They're gonna have questions. He just killed another hero, you know, in their eyes at least.
I could see him ending up in the hospital and then them sort of writing him off like for season 3 and just having him be in the hospital. And then
it's just that they've kind of already done that already. Like he was still in season 2, but like they made it seem that way at the end of season 1. And I feel like if they do that again, it would just kind of be a little.
Yeah, it would be a little repetitive.
Yeah. But I don't know. Regardless, like, I don't know.
But I mean, it is like his heart condition, so it makes sense they'd have him show up in the hospital again, I guess.
True.
But I don't know. I could see.
I think we would see him,
and then him sort of doing something while he's in critical condition to help him out, like one last time, and then that's how he dies, is just standing up to Homelander.
Maybe.
And giving like one final sacrifice.
Yeah, I could see that. That whatever they do with his character, really, they've already done a great job. So, I mean, wherever they go from here is fine with me. But yeah, I mean, I guess we can now transition to just the Hughie and Starlight shit. So Starlight stops the fight from happening between Hughie and A-Train, and she just like pulls him aside and asks if Soldier Boy's there. And like a second later, Soldier Boy just walks into the house, and like Hughie transports her out, and like they have their moment where like I feel like this is the end of their relationship, really, where like he just confesses that like it bothers him that like she's stronger than him, you know?
Yeah, it's hard to go back from this, man. It's hard to go back.
And like how they stare each other down at the end of the episode, like I thought last episode was the point of no return for them, but this episode is it for sure. I don't think they're getting back together. I can't really, at least not right now. I can't see them ending well, you know?
Yeah, but I love what they're doing with Huey's character. I mean, I don't necessarily like agree with what he's doing, just because like, you know, said it himself. He's like, what are you doing, kid? Like, you know, you're losing who you are. You know, and he's very disappointed in Huey, but you know, Huey is kind of losing himself and succumbing to power. You know, he's kind of becoming what they hated. You know, like he's becoming this like asshole obsessed with power and kind of, you know, being this kind of overly confident, arrogant kind of piece of shit, and kind of losing who he was. You know, I don't think Huey would have done half the shit he did this season that he would have done any other season because of just who his character is. But once he gets that dose of Compound V, you know, he's kind of high on it and kind of chasing that high for as long as he could. You know, I think it's well written, but it's so tragic to see, you know. But there is a really cool line where Andy's like, I thought the drugs messed you up, Huey, but maybe you've been like this the whole time, which is kind of that whole idea with, you know, drugs and alcohol, where it's like, you know, it just enhances who you are on the inside, you know? So I think it's a really, really fitting and really kind of deep messaging, you know?
Totally. Yeah. Everything they've been doing with Huey just getting addicted to this drug, like it's been a perfect, like not even metaphor, but just like a perfect, you know, just like showing of like how much like actual addiction can like harm someone, you know, like it's very real life what they're doing with Huey right now, and it's like it's sad to see. It's been sad to see, and like I just like I hope he gets out of the season okay. You know, I kind of hope he realizes like what he's been doing is wrong, but like I don't know. As of right now, I can't really see it. Like he's gone off the deep end this episode. So and like especially how it ends with the big brawl between him, Butcher, and Soldier Boy and Homelander. How he just gets in on that, and like between the three of them, they almost beat Homelander. I feel like that kind of just like gives him more of like a just like a struggle to like give up the V, you know, after it's like helped him out this far.
Yeah, man. And you know what? Even when Butcher was like, "Get back, kid! Like you're not gonna survive this or whatever," he stuck with it.
Yeah,
he stuck with it.
Yeah. So I don't know, just whatever they do with Huey, I just hope he makes it out okay. But Jack Quaid has been like killing it though, like with his performance, just being hooked to the V this season. So props to him. I guess now we could just like talk about the final brawl, how it starts, I guess, with MM and Butcher, which sucked to see. Like this just like goes to show that there's like no going back there. But shortly after this, Soldier Boy just loses it and he just like blows up the fucking house, and MM gets knocked out and Homelander shows up. Yeah, just like this whole fucking scene was just like brilliantly, and like it was brilliantly executed from top to bottom. Just how Homelander just like knocks down Butcher with his laser vision, and he goes down. Then he like comes back up in the most badass fucking way. Like it was like on a level that's like this scene very much, I don't know if it reminded you guys of this, but it reminded me of the Thanos fight in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Where they were trying to get the glove off.
Yeah.
It was like very much reminiscent of that scene. And in my opinion, it was kind of more epic. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know if you guys agree, but like, do you see where I'm coming from? I guess like in terms of like how it was kind of a parallel there.
Yeah, I mean, such a brute force, and they needed everything to try to stop him. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
No, but it was just a brilliant scene. What do you guys have to say about this whole sequence?
I could definitely see Butcher trying to blame Homelander getting away on MM or someone else for not having powers and being there to have a fourth person when they went up against him.
I mean, with that, like, I don't know, because I think Butcher like respects MM's decision. Like, I feel like the three of them know that they're like they tried their best. Like they just need to be better next time. Yeah. Like Homelander was just like lucky in that moment because they nearly got him. But like they both sides know, like Soldier Boy, Butcher, and Huey, and Homelander on the other side. Both parties know that for the next round, like they both need to go in harder and like they need to be more prepared. So
for sure.
I mean, whether we actually get a next round or it's just like the point where we'll have the crazy reveal of some sort, whether it's exactly what we came up with or if it's something else, we'll have to see.
I think we just straight
up I think we did crack the code 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be hype as fuck, but yeah. I don't know. Justin, what do you think of the sequence?
Great fight. You know, I think the best part is definitely the ending where you see Homelander with a bruise.
Yeah.
The first time. And he's up in the mirror. And he's just so beaten down. I mean, if Homelander hasn't been unhinged this entire season, this is the moment where he is off the chain and he is totally gonna lose it. Like this is the moment. I you know, after I saw this, for some reason the scene that I thought of was an episode in season 2, I believe. Remember that moment where he's like imagining just laser beaming everybody and killing them all in the crowd, and then he snaps back and he actually doesn't do it. I could legitimately see them doing a scene like that, but him genuinely killing people because of how unhinged he's going to be after that. Because he's going to have to do talk shows and he's going to have a bruise and they're going to ask who did it. You know, it's not going to go well. It's not going to end well at all.
Yeah, he can't say that he just like fucking tripped and like fell or some shit. Right?
Yeah. No.
Like, dude, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he gets around that. But yeah, it's going to be so interesting next episode to see how he handles being beaten for the first time ever in his life. Like, yeah, I'm very excited to see what they do with his character. I know Anthony Starr is going to kill it. I'm just excited to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see a full-on breakdown by the end of the season. And they've been building to it this entire season for sure. More than even seasons 1 and 2. I feel like they've been really building to it this season with the way that he went off against the press at the beginning of the season and everything. Like, he's been unhinged as fuck and he's just going to lose it. So it's going to be awesome. But yeah, I mean, if we got nothing else to say about this sequence, then I guess we can talk about the very end of this episode where.
Yeah, I just got.
Oh, go ahead.
So I just want to go back just one moment. That scene when is about to face Soulja Boy and he's like, "You killed my family."
Oh yeah.
And Soulja Boy says the coldest shit. He's like,
"Which one?" Oh God.
It's such a great moment because so far I've seen a lot of praise for Soulja Boy, how he's like kind of good, and they kind of ignore that he's kind of a piece.
He's a fucking asshole.
No, yeah, they really have been like, they've sort of like minimized like the amount of times they address like how much of a piece of shit he really is.
Yeah.
But like when they do, it's like goddamn.
Yes,
I think we're gonna see that in the next couple episodes. Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think like it's kind of brilliant because at first one of the very first things we learned about Soulja Boy is that he was captured and betrayed by his team. So naturally you're like, oh wow, that's messed up. Like he needs revenge.
But like there's a reason why his team hated him.
Yeah, there's gotta be a reason.
See that.
Yes. So I think there's gonna be some revealing moment in the next 2 episodes where it's like Soulja Boy is really just, because we haven't really seen much of why he's a piece of shit. I mean, the worst thing he's did was kill MM's family with the car.
He also fucking molested gunpowder as a kid,
which I think there might be a flashback to something like that, because I remember seeing an interview with Jensen Ackles, and he was talking about a scene they wrote for him where at first he literally refused to do it. He was like, I can't do this.
Oh God.
Okay. And then they sort of talked him into doing it.
I forgot about that. Yes. That's yes.
But yeah, okay. I think you're right. We're definitely gonna see a flashback of him doing some crazy shit.
We have 100%. To, because you're definitely right. They've been downplaying how much of a piece of shit he really is so far.
Yeah, I mean,
they've been really waiting to push that point.
Because even I have kind of forgot how much of a piece of shit he actually is. Like I've been thinking he's kind of a good guy, but like like after once I'm reminded of this shit, like there's definitely no way that he's as like he in the next episode or in the season finale or whatever, there's going to be a turn for sure. There's no way he's as squeaky clean as like overall. Yeah, that's a good point for sure. That I hope we see now actually that he's actually a piece of shit, but
I think
yeah. But I guess like going back to the end of the episode now, Starlight records that video, which this is I think the thing that's going to set Homelander off.
I think completely. I think it's going to have zero effect on anything. I think I don't know. She's gonna because I think with
I think this is
MM's big, dude. With MM's the stepdad of his daughter, and like how people are sort of they're doing like a little bit of like political commentary, like tying it into the real world a little bit. I think they're sort of gonna have it where like there's all these Homelander supporters that just sort of deny it.
And
they're like, no, he's going against what is he? He's a bad person for going against the mainstream.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's possible.
Yeah.
I could see that for sure. I mean, either way, I feel like there's going to be some sort of repercussions, if anything, definitely for Starlight. So
Now,
and the fact that they ended with that in this huge episode, like there's got to be consequences.
yeah. So the last
Yeah, that
4
is true.
episodes, the last scene involves Starlight.
Yeah.
The last 4 episodes.
True.
People are saying that they think Starlight's gonna die. I don't.
I think it's
how
possible
I feel about that.
It would be
possible.
heartbreaking. It'd be heartbreaking for Hughie, bro. If Starlight
that'd
dies.
be rough.
But
I could see it.
She was thrown in. She was last seen in the last 4 episodes.
Yeah.
So that either like she. I mean, maybe
this has been her season.
Yeah,
for sure. Like more than seasons 1 and 2. Like she's had a lot to do this season, and she's had to deal with heartbreak multiple times, whether it be with the way Huey's been acting or fucking Supersonic dying, being killed. Like she's dealt with a lot, and for her to drop this bombshell like this at the end of this episode, like something's gonna happen to her, and it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, I could see her maybe just like I don't know. I really don't see any other thing besides her dying, especially now because Homelander's going to be unhinged.
Yeah.
She's going to lose support from the Homelander diehards because of everything.
Maybe. Not only that, but like she's out from Vought. Like there's no way she's without a job now and shit.
Oh, Ashley's going to kill her if anything.
It's going to be fucked. I don't know how it can get much more wild than this episode was, but it's gonna happen, and I'm here for it. Like I don't know, dude. We've kind of given our predictions throughout this episode, but do we have anything more that we think might happen next week that we want to put out there?
Oh, I want to see personally Soldier Boy versus Noir at some point.
Oh, we're definitely gonna get that.
Oh, for sure. We're gonna get that.
And one more thing, the Payback team, everybody's dead except for Soldier Boy, obviously, Noir, and the Magneto dude with the
true the bug guy was blown up, right?
Yeah, he was blown up.
Yeah, he was blown up in Nicaragua, was it?
So maybe wait, hold on. Was this episode the Legend, or was that last episode?
That was last episode.
Okay. Sorry.
We totally forgot to talk about that last episode too, by the way. Fucking Paul Reiser killed it.
Yeah. I just thought about that. I was like, that was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think what you're gonna see a Noir Soldier Boy showdown. I think Edgar's gonna come out on top regardless.
Do we think we're gonna see Edgar take some V?
No.
You don't think so? Like some of the 10th V?
No, because I think
protect himself.
There was a line where he was like, I know, doesn't he say something about like knowing the problem with the V? Wasn't there something like that?
Yeah,
you're probably right.
The problem was that it wasn't temporary and it just makes people childish. But
right,
yeah, I don't think
that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. I think that probably killed it, honestly, because I was thinking, like going back even to like last season, that we could see Edgar. I was kind of speculating that Edgar might be secretly a soup, but like obviously that's not true. Yeah, I think you guys are right. I actually don't think.
I could see him taking the temporary stuff, maybe.
Well, that's what I was thinking, but after you guys just reminded me of what he said about it, I can't. I can't really see it somewhere. Like if anything, Noir would probably protect him.
Yeah,
because like you were saying, like we were saying before, like they were definitely in cahoots or whatever.
Yeah. I want to see what Homelander does next episode. I mean, he's gonna lose it. God. The more I think about it, the more I really do think that Homelander is one of the best written like TV show villains.
He's one of the best villains in general of all time, dude.
Yeah,
he's on like Darth Vader
top
level.
5 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. If I would have never thought I would have said that, but him, oh God, it's just so well written and just
between the writing for the character and Anthony Starr's performance.
And Starr's performance.
Oh yeah,
it's just fucking crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy how brilliant it is.
It puts this show in literally like top 5 shows of all time for me.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just so impressed with everything they've done so far. I have faith that they'll stick the landing.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah, I saw some people say that they're scared about how they're gonna continue or end it. I got faith. I got faith in it.
Especially if like they have a crazy twist, like the one that we've been speculating on. Like that's enough material for a whole another season.
Yeah, I mean, we got a season 4 already confirmed, so we're gonna get some good stuff.
Totally. So,
no,
the hype, it just gets higher and higher every single episode, and I can't wait for next week. Anyway, what did you think about Herogasm? Leave your favorite moment in the comments below, because there were plenty of them in this episode, and I'm sure there will be plenty more next episode. Be sure to come back here next week. We'll be back talking about episode 7 of The Boys. In the meantime, go back and check out our thoughts on the Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney Plus, which just wrapped up last week. But until next week, thank you guys for coming on to talk about The Boys with me this week. This was a crazy ass episode. I'm glad we got to talk about it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. God, I hope we're right. Oh
yeah.
I think 100%.
If we're right, like
there's no chance that's not right.
If we get it on the money, that's like bragging rights for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Be sure to tune in and see if we.
I feel like that was all Justin there.
Oh no, totally.
I'm actually part of the development team, so I got some leaks.
I mean, you met MM, so like
yeah, MM told me.
You had to have heard something.
He just explained the whole shit to you.
Yeah, he told me. He's like, "Yo, you guys aren't ready for episode 7."
Yeah. Anyway, come back and join us next week. We'll see you then. Goodbye.